You know, that old theory, trickle-down economics. That has been tried. That has failed. It has failed rather spectacularly.
All right, folks, welcome. The Malzberg panel is with us, and it's the host of the syndicated radio show, The Roger Hedgecock Show, Roger Hedgecock, and co-host of Steele Ungar and senior political contributor for Forbes.com, Rick Ungar. And let me start with you, Roger. Is Hillary the gift that keeps on giving? We had Reince Priebus say that there's no one they'd rather run against in 2016 than Hillary.
She's made it rather stark what the choice is between a government-run economy or private-run economy, liberty and freedom of individual choice. She's made that very clear. In fact, I think this is the moment that Hillary Clinton has made her stand in the same way that Barack Obama did in 2008 when he said, "I'm going to utterly transform the United States of America." It's very clear what the intention now is of Hillary Clinton is to carry on the concentration of power, influence, and everything in the hands of government.
Rick?
Well, I will give you this. That first line of that speech was pretty stupid. Okay, so we can all agree on that. The rest of it, you know, I'm actually kind of in agreement with the rest of what she had to say. I don't think trickle-down economics has been particularly successful. To say that companies don't create jobs, well, that's pretty obvious on its face, and it's pretty dumb. I don't quite know how Roger's managing to take the content of that speech, even the foolish parts, and turn that into this dramatic statement on what Hillary will be in her vast ideology of things. That might be pushing it a bit far. Maybe we should just be, or he should just be happy saying, dumb thing to say, and let it go at that.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Roger?
Rick, no, I think it's pretty obvious that what she's talking about is trying to go to the left to keep Elizabeth Warren from joining in whatever challenge that Clinton will have, you know, in these primaries coming up.
I agree with that part. I think she is trying to find ways to get to the left. She obviously made this one up on the go, and it didn't work very well. But no disagreement there. I think she does see a need to try and move a little bit to the left. I don't think Elizabeth Warren is a big problem. I don't believe she's going to run for president. But I do think Hillary knows there's a big part of their Democratic Party who wants her to go in some leftish ways.
Now Rick, Reince Priebus said that Hillary is in danger of becoming a parody of Elizabeth Warren.
Well, Reince Priebus says a whole bunch of things, and your first clue that he's, I don't know, I want to be careful in what I say, but the first clue that maybe he's not completely on the right track is when he says he can't think of anybody he'd rather run against than Hillary Clinton, when every existing poll in humanity shows that there's not one Republican candidate who can beat Hillary Clinton. So Reince, don't make us think that you think we're that stupid.
Roger?
Well, I do think that Hillary Clinton is going to have some remarkable negatives going into this race. The whole thing about Benghazi is going to come out again. The whole thing about all of the Clinton era stuff. But I must say that if Hillary Clinton was as conservative as Bill Clinton was in the 1990s, Art Laffer and myself and a lot of other people would be very happy with the tax cutting, with the balanced budgets, with all the rest of it that Bill Clinton achieved back in the 1990s.
It's an interesting comment, Roger. It really is, because you view her as being to the left of her husband, and yet the problem that many Democrats are having is they see her as the same as her husband or to the right of her husband. There's two ways you can look at that, I suppose. One, you could say she has no home, but I think the more likely thing is that sounds like a perfect prescription for winning general elections.
Yet well, she keeps touting the success. Roger, she keeps touting the success of her husband's economy, which was in large part due. I mean, he was kicking and screaming to be more conservative and compromise, but also the internet boom, which he was lucky to be in the middle of. But she keeps touting that success, yet here she is, you know, running against or basically stating against the policies that he adopted.
I think that's exactly right, Steve. In fact, I see her as pandering to this extreme leftist. You know, they always talk about in the Obama media about the extreme right and the Tea Party. There's an extreme left in the Democratic Party that is very socialist, very government-oriented, and for the most part are government workers and dependents of government workers and on the dole. So here you have a huge block of Americans that want an even more centralized government. She has to pander to those because in the primaries, as in the Republican primaries, the most radical of the party adherents are going to be determinative of how those primaries turn out.
Well, I don't disagree with Roger when he says there's an extreme left in the Democratic Party, just as there's an extreme right in the Republican or Libertarian. I do take some issue when people go out of their way to say that Bill Clinton's success was all about something else that happened to him. But if it's Barack Obama, it doesn't matter that there was an outside influence that he walked into. It's just plain Barack Obama's fault. You got to be consistent. If you're going to give a president the blame, which is fine for the economy, then you have to give a president the credit when the economy's good. You don't get to pick and choose.
Well, it's 6 years after the fact what Barack Obama walked into. I think he's talking about me, but he's had 6 years to remedy what he walked into, and he just hasn't done it.
And Bill Clinton had 8, and he had a great economy. So, you know,
exactly
you can
right.
pick on Obama, that's fine, but be consistent. Give
Keep in
Clinton
mind
the
what
credit.
Bill Clinton. Keep in mind what Bill Clinton did, though. He didn't go with national health care. He went with a balanced budget. He went with welfare reform.
He tried.
To put work back into it.
Guys, we're coming back. Roger Hedgecock and Rick Ungar, we're going to talk about a story that you're going to need to hear. Don't go away. But first, let's check in on the governor's race in the state of Massachusetts. So we're going to do that. It's a tight one up there, and we're going to do it with our Road to the Midterms update, which is next, right here on Newsmax Television. Don't go away.
Sometimes it goes blue, sometimes it goes red. And with the current popular Democratic Governor Deval Patrick opting not to run for re-election, a Republican definitely has a chance to reclaim the office. So who are the players? It's between Democratic State Attorney General Martha Coakley and Republican Charlie Baker, a healthcare executive. Baker unsuccessfully challenged Patrick in 2010. The latest surveys in this gubernatorial race range from a toss-up to giving Baker a 6-point lead. Even though the polls aren't exactly favoring Coakley, she still has some advantages. Registered Democrats in Massachusetts outnumber Republicans 3-1. According to a WBUR poll, she's also the top pick among women, a key voting group. Baker lost this group to Patrick in 2010 by 24 points. Another reason this race is so difficult to predict is the fact that voters are split on who can better handle the key issues. A UMass Amherst poll found likely voters are more confident with Coakley tackling health care and higher education. They think Baker is better suited for the economy, taxes, and welfare.